Instead of bees, honey came out of people's vaginas. It was part of the menstrual cycle. You could buy it from the store or you could harvest your own. I harvested my own and kept it in a jar. Hate that I misread this as bees are supposed to come out of a vagina during menstruation rather than bees make honey. I needed a signature from a prefect for something school related. We don't even have prefects in school, but I forgot to get it and this signature was due in like 5 minutes. So I forged it, but it looked atrocious, and the lady told me that she asked me to go to the prefect for a signature, not to my little sister. I was so anxious that I woke up. I was showing someone the universe. I could zoom out of the galaxy to demonstrate how unimportant we all are. They asked what to do about it, and I told them to make a difference to someone. There is this bookshop I usually dream of, with very tall shelves and in low lights and with existing and non-existing books, but this time they had installed a new feature which meant that, whenever you took a book out of its shelf, a hologram of the main character would appear to talk about the most interesting things about the book to convince you to buy it. Humans unlocked fourth sleep. I don't know what it was, but I was very disappointed when I woke up and I still hadn't achieved fourth sleep. Reblog if you want to attain fourth sleep. I saw a person in my bathroom covered in a towel, so I lifted a tube of toothpaste up and projectile squirted it at them. After I was done, I calmly asked, "Who are you?" before lifting the toothpaste to squirt them again, but this time they lifted up toothpaste too, because they were also me. Mirror. My friend got banned from the Wendy's and nobody wanted to talk about why and how they got banned. I thought it was funny because it seemed like something that could actually happen to them. I was scrolling through my school email and there was one from my history teacher, so I opened it and they told me that I needed to stop doing assignments last minute because I always do them in between classes before that class. I ignored it because I don't have the kind of motivation to do it the night before and I have other homework to do. Everyone in my life, including my parents and pets, were being huge assholes to me and were blaming me for caring about it, and then Chattanooga from Miraculous Ladybug stole my girlfriend. The Queen of England had a pet sheep, which for some reason had green wool. The Queen, being extremely fond of the sheep, then shaved her head, not super shaved, only so she had stubble that looked like wool, and dyed it green, so she could match the sheep. She then went on a tour around the country with the sheep and she slept in a van with it. I was in a shootout with the police and got arrested. After I was put in jail, I used my power to turn into a crow to escape. Afterwards I flew into the mall where my friend was having a date with a girl. I flew onto her shoulder and pecked her until she pet my head and gave me a treat. She was the only one who understood me, but I felt pecking was the best course of action. I was making a sandwich. It was ham, salami and cheese on wholemeal bread, and my mum walked into my room. I don't make or eat sandwiches in my room, and said, "You ate all of our salami, but you were so conservative with the ham." And Ben Shapiro's ghost appeared and said, "You claim to be a socialist liberal, yet you're conservative with your ham consumption. How curious." I dreamt that it was announced that Percy from the Thomas the Tank Engine series had spoken to an educational psychologist and was diagnosed as being autistic. After I woke up from said dream I had to Google it in case it was something I'd read about and forgotten. I had a dream about purchasing socks online. I think this officially makes me an adult. I was playing tennis with my long lost crush from 8th grade and suddenly my dad appeared and started throwing balls into his direction aiming at his face. Then I went to prom with him, but his face was full of blood because of his now broken nose. I fought a guy because he said my moss dog was not valid. I was in a reality TV show and it was all about Shreks. Everyone else started to make out and I was just sitting beside them being very much grossed out and trying to read my book. I had lied at the application about my former Shrek's life so I could gain some experience because I was afraid of being left behind in this exploring process. I never did anything and then other contestants found out about it and all of them mocked me. You could pick what kind of weather you'd like by which door you left school through. Snow, rain, warm and sunny, and crisp and a little breezy. After breaking a leg, a mermaid came floating in the hospital room where I was sleeping, took my hand, and taught me the way I had to walk from that moment onward. I was inside an olive garden that was actually a grocery store, buying supplies for a picnic. The workers started to unionize, so I helped them steal the ovens and then we ate fried chicken in the park. I was in my school cafeteria, listening to a woman preach her religion. I was believing her, even though a man was heckling. She brought out a big bag and said, "Choose your element." She opened it and smaller Doritos bags fell out, labeled with element. I was hoping to get fire. Instead I chose crisis. I thought it was funny. My parents didn't. 150 people broke into my flat and were breaking everything and having a party, but I didn't do anything about it because I was too busy trying to finesse Jennifer Aniston. For some reason I was being interviewed by Jake Tapper on CNN, but something came over him and he picked up a spanner and, looking like a demented slasher movie villain, he lunged at me and bludgeoned me to death. I was sitting in the kitchen when the Kool-Aid man burst through the window just to WWE slam me into the fridge because I spilled Kool-Aid that morning. I was a plane and I felt a bird hit my face, and then I realized that the bird had my face. Everything had my face. It was terrifying. My dad left me at IHOP. I was working for the Peacock from Kung Fu Panda 2 and we were trying to free all the live action Disney stars from their fake lives. It turned out that they were all being possessed by demons though, and we had to fight the demon to free the actor, which eventually led to fighting Demon Lord Hannah Montana, who was not possessed and summoned the demons in the first place. I thought I had lost my book about the Tom and Jerry movie, but Birdie Maxwell had stolen it to gift it to the Tweevils. I took it back from her hands and thanked her for giving it back to me. A squirrel built a beaver dam. I asked Scrooge McDuck how I hug a puppy correctly. He replied that there's no right way to hug a puppy, and that hugging puppies was easier than hugging humans. Best advice I ever got. I looked in the fridge and she wasn't there, and I was like, oh my gosh, where's my cat? I was playing Flight Rising and had a bunch of green ooze and yellow ooze in my hoard, but they wouldn't stack. That's all I remember. There was an episode of Fresh Prince, an early one since Ashley was still young, and there was original Aunt Viv, where Uncle Phil was organizing some gala and Will wanted to be part of the entertainment as a dancer, and there was a goofy montage where Will and Jazzy Jeff were recreating famous movie dances to the Risky Business music. I found my old 3DS, but it needed an SD card for some reason. Luckily, there was one in the light switch for some reason, but when I turned it on, none other than Sans Undertale appeared talking about how someone had been doing a handstand for a week. I was getting married to a really hot underwear model guy. We were practicing our first dance in a studio, and then during my wedding dress fitting I started to cry and I ran away to be with a guy I actually liked. I was moving into a college dorm when I noticed that someone left behind a GameCube and a bunch of games. I go to look through the games when someone from yelled at me to stop from the doorway. I looked over and there's Eddie Riggs from Brutal Legend, voiced by Jack Black. He said that this was his room and he told administration that he didn't want a roommate, but he saw that I had already put my stuff away, so he gave up caring about it. Then we played Smash Bros. An idiotic murder clown tried to chase me around a mansion on some island but failed. I then proceed to escape and I left some man to be doomed on the island because that was simply not my problem. I was working as a sort of secretary in an afterlife, which was apparently for wizards. It was designed like an office building, and me and a mentor were sat at a table, giving directions to people. There were some people who we were told to ignore, and my mentor, a 20-something boy who looked alarmingly like Joker from Persona 5, told me that they were wizards born without magic, and they had to find their own rooms. I asked what my room was and he didn't answer, but I woke up with the number 336861 in my head. My brother left to buy me cigarettes, so I was waiting in the kitchen and there was a cake with burning candles in the oven, but when I looked closer I saw that it was made out of my best friend's ashes and I started to cry. I chased and fought a school bus. I won. A golden retriever ghost wrote this. This post reminds me of that Battle of Giants dinosaurs game. You win. I tried to call the fire department to report my neighbor's house fire. The 911 operator told me they couldn't help me because I now had to go online and fill out a request for firefighting form. They'd get back to me in 6 to 8 weeks if it got approved. I mean, it's not too far off. Me and my entire class full of girls had to prepare and present an assembly to the school about Women's Day. Each person had to say what women are, i.e. powerful, strong, independent. When it was my turn I said, women are gay, and walked away for the next person to get to the mic. I mean, you're not wrong. I was hitchhiking and got picked up by my 10th grade teacher. She drove us to an abandoned warehouse, locked me inside it, and turned on a movie projector that started playing the Bill Nye the Science Guy theme all over the walls. When I demanded she let me out, she continued to turn up the volume of the song until I started screaming and had a big breakdown. I had a whole breakdown over the fact that teens and young adults look the exact same on The Sims 4.
Howdy folks, I hope that you all enjoyed the One Time I Dreamt episode 2 or version 2. I know that this was one of the most requested videos, so I wanted to bring it back. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to drop a like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're able to go the extra mile, feel free to click the join button right next to the subscribe button and become a channel member. I would greatly appreciate that. I hope that you all enjoyed the video. Please let me know if you did. And if you have any other Tumblr user suggestions or recommendations, I'd be glad to hear those in the comments as well. And I will see you all in a couple of hours with episode 178 of Top Tumblr Memes. So I will see you all then. And I hope that you all have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, night, whatever time of day it is for you. And I'll see you all in a couple hours. Peace out, guys.